You seriously never played this? You seriously never played this with Mike and Chris? Hello!
Hi!
Thanks for coming back.
We appreciate you.
For life. It's
Watch
really,
out!
it's really early in the morning, so I'm interested to see where this takes us.
Yeah. I agree. Ooh.
God, the colors in this level are great too.
Yeah, these pastels are...
I forgot about this level.
I like the little front flipping... Oh, this is spinning eggs. I thought it
What
was
did you think it was doing?
I didn't know what it was doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I hurt myself.
Oh, good. Oh, but you found a secret, which is really important.
Secret.
I was talking. I was.
That was the worst.
God, you nailed it. Good job.
Every time I mess up, I think of that one person who commented on our video. Wow, Chris is really bad at Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, way to go, whoever that was.
Oh,
You
man.
Successfully ruined the little bit of. You know what? You just gotta get warmed up. It's been a
It's
while.
early.
It's early in the morning.
It's early and it's been like a week.
Chris and I just went out for breakfast together,
I've
and the
got
waiter
it.
asked us if we wanted one check or two.
Yep.
We said two. Chris,
Yes.
I have a story for you. It's a joke.
Ooh, I like jokes.
Are you sitting down?
I am. Mike.
Okay. All right. So there's this guy, right?
I'm listening.
And he's driving his car through the countryside to go home and see his wife and daughter.
Go on.
And it's pouring down rain. And this poor guy, he knows his car's a piece of garbage.
I just murdered
You
that guy.
did.
I
You
made
nailed
him fall to his
He
death.
did, and he
That was
watched
scary.
the ground get closer and closer.
I feel like a monster.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, oh, he's back. He caught a ride.
Oh, this is his brother.
Lucky two. Lucky two. Okay, so he's driving through the countryside, and it's pouring down rain. He knows that his
Dare.
clunker of a car is gonna inevitably break down at any given moment. And as he comes to terms with that realization, his car breaks down, which is ironic, but this is a joke, so it's helpful. So I feel really weird telling you jokes because you do it like professionally.
Professional.
So I'm sorry in advance for how terrible this is. Okay, so
Can I eat that guy? No.
listen.
Listen.
I'm sorry if I made you focus on something.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just bad at
You have
this
one
level.
life left.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, man.
But you still have to listen to my joke. Okay, so this guy's car breaks down and he's like, man, I knew this was gonna happen. This is garbage. He's talking to myself for narrative purposes. This is garbage. I need to figure out how to get home to see my family. It's almost Christmas. I left that part out. I just decided it was close to Christmas. So, Paul is his name. Paul decides that he needs to call a tow truck, but his phone is also dead. His USB charger in his car doesn't work. But through the rain, he looks up on the top of his hill, and he sees that there's a light on up the top of this hill. He can see it from far away. He can tell it's a building, so he decides that since he's in the middle of nowhere, that's probably his best bet. Because that's the way things work, you know. You go towards the light. Okay, so he goes towards the light, and he gets up on the top of this hill, and he sees this large brick building with a single porch light on. And he decides that he's gonna knock. He's gonna commit to this. He walked all the way up here in the pouring rain. He's soaked. He's not turning around now. So he knocks. He waits a while, and the front door opens. Follow me? You follow me? All right. Front door opens, and a man wearing robes opens the door. Says, hello, sir. How can I help you? Hey, my name's Paul. I my car broke down. Do you have a phone I could use? I need to get home. And the guy's like,
That cactus
course,
is so sad that
of
I ate
course
a
I do.
child.
That's how you're gonna look when this joke's over. Of course I have a phone for you. It would be my pleasure to let you use my phone. Come on in, sir. He lets him dry off his clothes, and God, your arch nemesis, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Really
the
well.
bulldog.
He lets him dry off his clothes and use his phone. He calls the tow truck. The tow truck says they can't make it there until the middle of the day tomorrow. So I was like, crap, I guess I'm sleeping here. This figures. So, he gets permission to stay. Obviously, the generous man is like, of course you can stay here. It would be an honor. I love helping people. So, he gets him a room upstairs. It's a gigantic building. Not many other people, though. So the guy packs up, unpacks his pajamas and lays down for bed. And he falls asleep quickly because it's been one heck of a day. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm just making sure you're listening. So, the man lays down to go to sleep, and he falls asleep for several hours, but around 3 a.m., he gets woken up by a startling scream. And he can't figure out where it's coming from, but his door is locked. His dresser begins to tip over. His window blinds shake. There's light pouring through the door and from the windows, and he is absolutely mortified. This is the most horrifying thing he's ever experienced in his entire life.
The guy who is getting the tow truck, or the guy who owns the house?
The guy who's getting the tow truck. The guy who owns the house, he's been through this. He knows exactly what's going on.
Oh, okay.
But nothing was. Paul wasn't warned. So he's reacting. But shortly after he starts to get up and get out of bed and try to figure out what's happening, everything stops. And he runs downstairs to see the man who owns the building sitting at the dining room table. He's like, what just happened? Paul is horrified. The man just smiles and says, it's best we don't talk about it. Everything is fine, I assure you. The guy's like, no, listen, I need to know what's happening or I'm out of here. And he's like, you can leave, but it's pouring down rain. It would be a horrible experience for you. The guy's like, you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. I'm gonna call the police. And he's like, sir, I can't tell you. This is a monastery. You're not a monk. I cannot tell you what is going on. The guy's like, I don't understand how this has anything to do with being a monk, which is the reaction anyone would have in that situation. That being said, he comes to terms with it because it's a joke, and he comes to terms with the fact that God, you did a great job.
I just rode a pod the whole time.
He comes to terms with the fact that he can't. Are you enjoying this?
Oh, yeah.
Great. He comes to terms with the fact that he can't know what's happening because, he respects religion, as most do.
Mm-hmm.
So, he goes back to bed, and he wakes up in the morning, and he has a terrible night's sleep. Horrendous night's sleep. And in the morning, he decides he can't just leave. What he experienced last night was life-changing. It was like nothing he'd ever experienced before. So he's like, look, sir, before I go, I need to know what's happening. I won't tell a soul. And he's like, sir, you're not a monk. I can't tell you. But if you commit to becoming a monk and you go through the training that I had to, I can tell you. And the man who had very little sleep, and with a burning desire to find out what happened, decides, okay, it's time for a change. I'm gonna become a monk because this was unbelievable. So he commits. He agrees. He makes a solemn oath that he will commit to the monkery that is to be had here. So he begins his training almost immediately. The monk is basically like, dude, are you sure? Dude, are you sure you want to do this? This is a lot of work. You're giving up a lot of stuff to do this. He's like, I've got to. I have no choice. So Paul is a man of his word. He begins his several month-long training. It's a grueling experience of blood, sweat, and tears. So he, you know, he's practicing with his mind, with his body, whatever it takes to become a monk. And after several weeks of the months of training that he needs, he's like, listen, sir, I need to know what happened. Have I not shown you that I've committed? Because every night something else is happening. He's reminded of it on the daily. He's like, no, yeah, you gotta finish your training. You need to finish your training, and then he will know. So, fast forward for the sake of the episode. He goes through all of his training. He becomes a monk. It is finally the day where he can say he is a monk. Paul walks up to the man. He's like, this is it. I need to know. And he's like, all right. So they walk up to the top floor of the building. They open a small chest, pull out a large skeleton key, and they head back down to the basement of the building, unlock a door, and they start walking down several flights of steps, what feels like miles. They get to the bottom, and there are 2 backpacks sitting at the end of the room. The monk takes one, and he tells Paul to take the other. They grab the backpacks. There are 2 plane tickets inside to the Swiss Alps. So they... Big plane tickets, and he must have bought them. He must have known, you know. So they head to the Alps, right? And they head to the Alps, and you know, Paul has been training every possible way, so he's prepared for this trip, and so is the monk, obviously. So they start hiking up the Alps. Another couple days pass by the time they get to the top, and there's a small monastery on the top of this mountain. They go in. There's a single old man, probably in his hundreds, sitting there, who gives them the nod. You can just tell they're monks, and lets them into the building. They walk in, and there's a pedestal there with another small box. The monk turns to Paul, the monk, and says, you know, you've worked hard for this. It's been a long time coming. Are you sure you want to know what you experienced all those nights in our monastery? And Paul says, absolutely. Like, I need to know. This is part of my life now. So the monk opens the box, and a bright light shows on his face, and Paul is absolutely mortified at what he sees. Do you want to know what he sees?
What does he seem like?
Chris, I can't tell you, you're not a monk.
How did I not see that? That's exactly where that joke was going. Oh, that was so long. God, that was a 10-minute joke.
I was trying to make it last the whole episode.
And the payoff is just...
It's not even worth it.
Can't tell you,
Listen,
you're not a monk.
I've told that joke to people at work, but like it's just because like I've told it to the kitchen guys, your cousin actually, and you know, at a restaurant you have to leave the room all the time because you're running food to people. I made it last 2 hours, and like there were 3 guys back there who were dying to know, and I did a much better job telling the story at work the last time, and they were just like so into it. I also didn't tell them it was a joke, and then by the end, honestly, they've never looked at me the same, and they hate me now.
Really?
I think they hate me now after that. But I promised them I'd tell it on the show.
Man.
So that's what just happened.
That was so good.
On that note, when you find a place to stop, we should probably end the episode.
Yeah, I think me.
I'm so sorry.
I think me struggling in the water is a great place for this to end.
I'm so sorry.
It's highly appropriate.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening.
And I apologize for everyone and everything.
That was a Mike heavy episode.
You should share this with your friends so they can hate me too.
Oh, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.